Alright, so we are going live. And things are getting warm in here. It's gonna be an interesting time to stream because, as everyone has been reporting, it's warm as hell everywhere. Just gonna share the link around a little bit. I think I'm actually going to the sea after this and just jumping in the water because this is slightly unbearable. All right. I'll just hold off on explaining everything I'm planning until I see a few more people drop in. Keep everyone up to date. But as per the tweet, I will be working on thumbnails as the plan. Maybe I should show what things look like right now. So we're building this fine photo posting sort of dealio. Actually, I think I'm going to remove the database and then we can just start that up again. It should give us a blank slate to publish something. My new post. Or Epsom. And typically you'd use this for photos, so let's grab a couple of photos. Boom, 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 boom. This one, that's, no Swedish characters please, that's actually ring light. Close. And maybe, yeah, so we can add a caption to this one. And no mouse here. And I can go, yeah, I'd like to publish that and save. And then there are actual captions on the images. So that's nice. I've also reworked a little bit how the routing works and assorted other edits. And maybe let's just make a quick draft and I can actually show that we now have titles markdown, which is nice. I don't really expect my end user group to want most of Markdown, but it also gives me automatically handle links and support for some formatting if people want it, and it's easy enough. So if I do that, I actually get links, which is nice. But that's not what we're going to be doing. What we're going to be doing is fixing the fact that this image is a honking 5,472 pixels times 3,648 pixels in size, and that gets to be a lot if you keep doing that. So I've been bringing the Mogrify library and was actually have actually started building thumbnail generation. If you are watching, please sound off in the chat so I know you're there. Happy to answer any questions, and if you see something weird, let me know. Or if the audio is weird or anything. My computer fan is definitely going, so you might have some background audio from that. I hope not. All right, generating thumbnails. How about that? So we have these presets that I just set up. When we tell it to generate thumbnails, it takes a media item. So that's the media schema. And then it goes through all the presets and just runs generate preset for each of them. And here's get thumbnail. So the idea with get thumbnail is that you pass it the media item and a preset name. And what you get out is a thumbnail path. And essentially regardless of whether it has been previously generated or not. And so it will attempt to generate it if it's not there. We'll see if that's a good idea in the end. And generate preset, what it does is use a bunch of different calls to the Mogrify library, so which leans on ImageMagick. So open, set a quality, resize to limit, which is just scale it and don't murder it. So resize it within these measurements, so whatever these are, and save them. And then you get that stored to a temporary path. So we do some hop, skip, and a jump to put it in a better path for final storage. So that's the general idea. Now, so if I do repo all familiar.publishing.media. All right. And I just grab one of these. So V is one of those. Let's call it I for image. Then we should be able to generate thumbnails for this now. Right, and if I switch this to using map instead, that would actually mean, okay, recompile. So it would give us these. Which look fine. I don't know that VS Code will show me what their respective sizes are. All right. So it seems like it generates the files in folders large, medium, small, which is good. I like that. So now we should just be able to use these in code to actually, so familiar to thumbnail, get thumbnail. Yeah, so then the question is a little bit, how do we want to serve this? Because currently we have Oh yeah, I think we have a static, an extra plug static that serves media. Yeah, we could just use that. At some point I will need to sort of put protections on it when I'm putting protections on everything else for user defense purposes. But yeah, that should be fine. So then the question is more, actually, how do we use them now? So let's look at how we serve these up. And I go media path. Where do we get media path? I'm pretty sure that's in here. Yeah, so a simplistic way of doing this is just do get thumbnail media preset, and then this be proper join. Excuse me. And yeah, path base name. So warm today. I'm not sure I'm going to sit here in the lights for 2 hours today. It might just be the one. Because it's a little bit warm. Unused. Alright, let's see if we can put it to use. So this one wants to be a link out, but the actual image here, I could be happy to use that as and large. Let's see, did I edit? Yeah, this is the drafts. So this would be here again. Oh dear. Something's loading. Really slowly. Don't know what that was about. But if I open this image in a new tab, you can see that it's 2560 times 1707, which is the downsized version of this. So let's see what the file sizes are. .8 megabyte resources. 294 kilobyte resources. Yeah. So that's a factor 10 or so, which should be an improvement to anyone. Has my, did my browser crap out on you guys? Let me know if there's any issue, but okay, it looks fine to me now. Okay. So that was thumbnails. Now, when uploading, shutting this down, hiding that, let's see, edit live. When we're uploading and just saving these media items. So that's here, persist media. Let's look at persist media. It saves it, And here I'm tempted to just do task start and just tell it to go generate thumbnails. Actually, I tend to use task just because it's convenient, but supervised tasks are probably better. So task. Oh, yeah, that's nice. So if the node shuts down, it can more gracefully shut down if you use task supervisor start child instead. So but then we need to have a supervisor set up. So let's do that. Application. Hey, need to sleep. It gets a light day in the live streaming crowd today. Not a lot of folks around, which is fine. It's sweaty stream. Let's do that. Let's call that a thumbnailer supervisor. And we can do def task generate. And then we can use this for so yeah. Also, I did not pre-announce this stream yesterday and a little bit of that stuff. I'm busy being on vacation, which is fine. So let's see, thumbnail supervisor, but not a lot of people watching right now. I do see people come and go, so if you're there and watching, do say hi. I'm not dangerous, not very dangerous. Actually, my back is a little off right now, so I'm very, very non-dangerous. Grumpy maybe, but not dangerous. Let's see, so that's the consume uploaded entry. Right, persist media was where I was gonna go. So this one saves the file to storage, this one saves the media item. I want the media item to exist before I do this. And then familiar thumbnail, task generate thumbnails, media. I can do saved media. Sweet. That should mean might actually want to add a little bit of logging to this. Require logger. So now if I go here, explosions, That was unexpected. Exited engines, recall, start task. Ah, haven't restarted it, so it hasn't started the supervisor, which is required to start the task. Cool, cool. If I do that, now what was the error? The process is not alive, or there's no process currently associated with the given name. Thumbnailer supervisor. Maybe I mistyped it in here and just did that. Right. Cool, cool, cool. Gonna do this. And 1 and a 2 and a 3. Right, I don't have styling for bullet lists. Something to fix. Did I add? Oh right, those are previous images for another post. Okay, so if I open this one, that's a large one. And it logged that it was creating the presets. So that looks like it works, just straight out. My little wild way of doing it, which is always a little bit concerning. Things just working. Remove the sample I was testing on. Let's add a thumbnail generation. Okay, so we have basic thumbnail generation. And if you have any questions about how we did that, I'm happy to go over parts of it again. But we're using the Mogrify library mostly. It's nothing, we're not doing anything advanced or particularly fancy to do it. Now, I would like to give a shout at, hey 9JA Force, you're not that late, or well, we're 20 minutes in, but we're probably getting into some more interesting stuff here where things will turn into a headache, because now we have thumbnailing and transcoding. Now I think we will be transcoding video, which is a pain in the neck. Usually shouldn't be too difficult. I'm going to be doing this very happy path style. Also, I need to figure out if I have a good video sample I can use for this. I have a ton of video from recording different things, but I don't want to use something that's really, really long, because that is going to be a headache. Alright, I can use thing I did for when I was sponsoring CodeBeam, I think it was. Then I recorded a little thing. That we could use for this. So actually, if I just open this, can I open this in the browser? I do file slash slash. Okay, yeah, it doesn't open mark MKVs. So that's one thing. To be able to show video usefully in a browser, you usually need to transcode it into MP4, H.264, H.265, something like that, and a decent audio codec. I have a bunch of scripts for doing this already for all the video things I make. So I have some decent presets that I like. And I think we'll do the we'll do a fairly simple approach to it. I don't want too many variants because every variant is a lot of space in the end. But let's see. So I just gotta check that there's nothing particularly sensitive in these sample files I have. I don't think so. No, there's nothing sensitive there, and probably not there either. No. All right, so then I can just bring these scripts into the project. Sorry, I'm working in a terminal you can't see right now. That's not optimal, but it's good when I need to when I need to check that it's safe before I show it to you guys. All right, so now I've brought in 2 scripts that we can look at for reference primarily. I'm not going to be using these scripts because they don't make sense for this use case, but there are settings in here that are important. Oh, generating thumbnails as well. So there are a few different commands that we want to run. And let's see. This would be the first one. It generates a ton of thumbnails. Don't know that I need a thumbnail for every frame. That's a bit much. We would probably want to generate 1 thumbnail. Let's see, FFmpeg generate single thumbnail. Okay, so this supposedly takes a single one. So let's create some presets. I don't think we need a presets concept for this, honestly. Let's just assume every video is treated the same. But then generate thumbnail. And then we are taking a media in. So this is the command. Let's have an FFmpeg function. Just input file path. And args. That's how I'm gonna do it for now. See. Let's see, which way do we want to run these I'm not sure which one I want to use. There are so many ways of running an external program in Elixir, and they have slightly different trade-offs. I know of one that's used in nerves. What's the name of it? Oh. Muon trap, that's right. So this is useful for constraining, or just making sure that if the Elixir process crashes, it will also clean up the video processing process. But then you can also use Linux C groups to control a bunch of fun stuff. I don't really super care if we use this or something else, but I'll pick it for now. I wanted to try it, and it doesn't work on Mac or Windows, but I have no intention of running this system on Mac or Windows, so that shouldn't matter. So then we do muon trap, which is the most convenient name. fmpeg. I think so that would be -I input plus args. It's not going to be that long a list, so the concatenation doesn't worry me. So then this would be call the ffmpeg function, media.file path, and then start building up this SS. And this is, so I need a good output file path. So what do we want the output file path to do? Let's look at what we're doing in thumbnails for that. Which is this stuff. Let's do the path and so the media and yeah, let's call it preset. We're going to handle these a little bit differently, I think. It doesn't super matter. Pull these, thumb deer. All right, let's do. If you have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. I don't explain exactly everything I'm doing, but I'm happy to dive into any of it at any time, if it makes sense. Temp path, where do I get that? I don't, not in this one. That's fine, we can. So we're building that. Yeah, we're not supposed to be doing that yet. All right. So we're just generating the path out path. So I would want it to be then thumbnail. Oh, right. We need to change the extension as well. So file name, I think path base name. Returns the last component of the path or the path itself. Returns the last component of the path with the extension stripped. Path dot extension name. This is something we need. And then we do this. And then we have the file name. And we want to add that new extension. This is gonna be a little bit annoying for retrieval later. At some point I might actually throw these in a database table just to keep track of all the conversions and stuff. That's not happening right now. So then this would be, I think .jpg, like that. And frames, that should be a dash. So let's see. Should be able to upload a video. Then first video. Save that. Now I can remove this. Okay, I thought I could remove this. I've apparently broken the delete function. Okay, let's turn the first video back into a draft because I want it at the top when I'm dealing with it. There we go. So with that in place, what's the, and that's this number 6. So repo get familiar dot publishing dot post 6 familiar repo preload media. That should give us the right thing. So matching out on that, we have this, which we should be able to pass to generate thumbnail media. Unified function media. All right, M, that's what I matched. So that possibly generated a thumbnail. We don't know. So let's check thumbnail file. Yeah, that's my face, all right. Cool. No. Code that works on the first try is always suspect. But it didn't work flawlessly. It didn't, rather, I didn't put in everything that one would need. So right now I'm not going to care about error handling really. I'll just return the output file path and match on that so it will crash if it fails. Huh. Well, that was That was reassuring in some ways. Okay. Def generate transcode. So the way I handle my videos is the first thing I do is generate some thumbnails. Then I transcode to H.264 and I thought I set the... Alright, I actually already record in the right audio format. Should probably specify that for this one. But this is what I use to make it web friendly and just crunch it down a lot, a fair bit at least. And then I scale it, which is this one. So it starts at 4K. And yeah, that's pretty much what I want to do for these as well, though I will not be crunching further down. I won't be crunching down to 480. I don't think anyone is made happier by that, at least not in my audience, or at least not for whom I'd expect to want to use this. So, but something like this would have to be a thing as well. And so let's grab this, turn that into guiding comment here. Okay. So fmpeg media.filepath. Alright, I don't need those. That's what the first thing is for. vcodec. Feel free to ask any questions as you're watching. I'm not going in depth on any of these things for the moment, but if you have questions, I'm happy to answer them. And let me know how we're doing. Let me know how you're doing in the heat. Most people seem to be having a warm time right now. I hear the Americans are melting. I hear the Swedes are melting. Maybe everything's fine in India. I don't know. It's probably warm though. Okay. Output file path. So I think I'll call this full, because it's essentially a full quality transcode. It was either that or original, which is not true. So I want to do the same thing here. Matching success, output file path. So let's generate a transcode. So how that treats us. This is not a super long video, so I hope it will be reasonable to just watch it transcode. Don't remember exactly how long it is though. I can check. You might hear a brief part of it. if I give it a look. Hi, I'm Larsvik. Yeah, that feels super awkward. VLC, please. It's 518. So it's just about done. Raining heavy. Where are you at? If I may ask. Ninja Force is reporting heavy rain, which is not what we're having here. It is humid though, so it's a lot of liquid in the air, but not rain. Definitely not that. Yeah, okay. So we've generated a video file, it seems like. Open containing folder. Sorry, now things will get a bit screwy on your guys' end. 92 megabyte. How big was the original? I think it grew. Yep, it grew. That's not the best. Something I want to add. Web before MPEG. So this, I think, was one of the gists I looked at doing this. Yeah, so I want to add this codec or Southern Nigeria, West Africa. Oh, cool. Seems like a place that would typically be warm. Is it a nice thing that you're having rain, or is that just as shitty as rain usually feels here? Let's see if we have any luck with just throwing in an AAC codec there. Let's see, FMPEG AAC. I think they changed a lot about what you should be using to encode AAC. Yeah. I think people have said that yeah, AAC one should be fine. It's like sometimes some of these encoders are better or worse, or you actually do want to pay attention to the quality of your encoding. So that sounds like the native AAC codec should be fine. So now that would probably, you can see, just decompile, generate a new transcode. All right, it asks if I want to overwrite. I can't answer that, sorry. Not overwriting, exiting. Yeah. So I'm going to need to just check the FFmpeg man page for a bit. Force. Okay, I just want to see if I can tell it to overwrite. FMPEG always overwrite. Okay, so just a -y. Cool, cool. Probably want that on this one as well. As I'm definitely going to cut the stream at the hour, because I'm melting away where I'm sitting. But I'm pretty happy about how this stuff is progressing. I'm not very likely to have a lot of time to put into it when I'm back to working. I still hope to have sort of something I can start testing at least with my family or something at the end of this vacation period. All right. But yeah, building a product is always a long process. It's just not possible to do it as quickly as I would like to. Feels like it should be, but it's not. Still, I'm enjoying doing this, so whether it's completed or not doesn't super matter to me. I have plenty of things to do regardless. All right, now it's encoding to AAC. It's encoding at 6.8 times speed. I wonder how many cores it's actually using. Sorry, the browser view seems to have crapped out. This is something that happens on OBS sometimes. And I'm only seeing it happen on Linux, which is disappointing. One reason to consider using a Mac or Windows, but I'd prefer to use a Mac for streaming. But on the other hand, this computer is very fast and manages streaming very well. All right. Let's see if I can check the size of that file. So full. Yeah, it's 88 megs, so it didn't shrink, but that's fine. Good question, 9J Force. Is it really a good idea to transcode in Elixir instead of niffing it into a low-level C++ transcoding lib? So we're not really performing transcoding in Elixir here. What we're doing is using, essentially, I believe muon trap is built on top of a port. Regardless, it would work similar to, yeah, it's a port. So we're using FFmpeg, which is built in C++, and it's a very nice and tight and performant library. So what is Elixir doing? Well, it's just keeping an eye on whether the process is running or not, and if the process fails, Elixir can throw an error and we can handle that in Elixir. But none of the video processing is being done by Elixir. And there are arguments why you might not want to do video encoding on the same server that you are running sort of page requests on. That's a different matter. But typically, because of how Elixir and Erlang handles latency, it should be fine unless the conversion absolutely slams your entire server. Then you should probably move it off to a different one. But running it, sort of orchestrating the running of FFmpeg from Elixir doesn't really have any serious consequences. It's not going to be significantly slower or anything. And running it as a NIF, I mean, you could create bindings into whatever the FFmpeg libraries are. And I guess that could be a little bit faster, but we're not sending video or audio data across the port interface, so probably wouldn't be any faster. And a NIF has a lot more risk to it, since it can crash the entire beam if sort of the video encoding would crash. A bit of water. No, so this should be fine. In my book, should be absolutely fine. So now we've generated the transcode and generate scaled. So now I want to make the scaled ones. So I do want something like this, but not quite this. I'm glad the answer was to your satisfaction. It's very, very convenient and usually absolutely fine to use Elixir to orchestrate other things. So this is my scaling commands. I will remove that one because I don't think we need it. And then I need to fix these output file paths. I'll call this 1080. It should have that. Yeah, but I worked with a company that does a lot of AI stuff. So they are using Elixir for their API, but they're using Python for the machine learning things. This was way before NX was even conceived of, or started before that. And there's really no I shouldn't say there's no issue having Elixir orchestrate ML tasks. It's rather that I think it's really good at it, because Elixir is good at keeping things running, at recovering from failures, at handling long-running tasks, and sort of delegating and spreading messaging around. So I think it's very well suited for this kind of work. The thing you need to watch out for is, for example, if you run heavy tasks such as video conversion along with Elixir, you may run into, what's this? Well, character after num. Oh, right. They don't like this. HD path. MD path. Let's call it that. Medium definition. That's not what it is. It's HD ready, I guess. No, but what you need to watch out for, and this was something they encountered, was when you're letting commands that do a lot of heavy lifting. In this case, they were upscaling images significantly that use a lot of memory. If they eat all the memory of on the server, you have sort of two things that can happen. So if you're inside a Docker container can get smacked on the head and shut down because it is consuming too much memory. Or if you're just running straight on top of a server, the Linux out of memory killer, the OOM killer, will just randomly start killing processes to recover memory. And that will quickly smack your Elixir process on the head, and you will be in trouble because so the beam can recover very well from a lot of failures, but being murdered by the kernel, it's only decent at that. So if you run the Erlang Heart module, for example, that would still bring you back up, but everything is lost and everything goes down the moment you have an out of memory problem. So those are fairly important to try to avoid, and that's the biggest reason why I would consider shoving this transcoding off to a separate box, or like sort of throwing it at something like Mux or so I'm not planning on being on AWS, but Lambdas can do this. So actually I would want this one to use the transcode as an input. That's how I've been doing it. So transcode path. Yeah, that should work. Whoa, what did I do? Oh no, I killed my backlog. Let's see. See if we can recover some nice commands here. Don't have to retype everything. Sweet, there you go. That's not okay. I failed at copying, and I hope, oh yeah, I super failed at copying that. At this point, I could have retyped it. Okay, that's just familiar.repo.get, familiar.publishing.post. I see new people have joined, so give a shout if you're in the chat. I will probably be shutting this down quite soon. Just want to verify that this is doing what I intended to do before I call it quits. But currently we're doing video transcoding from Elixir. As previously discussed, that's not so dramatic necessarily, because we're doing everything using FFmpeg. It's just Elixir is telling it what to do. So let's generate these scaled ones. So this is just going at 3 point something speed. That was suspiciously quick. Did that actually work? I'm very suspicious. I'm just gonna track down these videos for a bit. Actually, we could so we have that one, which is 4 megs. Seems low. That one is 2 point. I don't trust this. Hi. Very. All right. So I started a transcoding and interrupted it. That's probably why those are short. So if I generate a new transcode, let it run to completion, and then run that, that should be more in line with what I expect. And if you're watching and have any questions, don't hesitate to ask. Keep an eye on the chat. The little YouTube chat box. Watching transcoding together. Great pastime. Also, I'm melting away. It's absolutely horrifyingly warm in here right now. And I don't think I could open a window to get it any better. So it finished. Let's run this. Oh, I didn't add this. Why? That's great. That's super annoying. Familiar.repo.get familiar.post 6. Jesus. Familiar.repo.preload media. Oh, good question, 9JA Force. Yes, I do have a blog. I thought you were new around here. So underyour.io, so underyour.io, you should be able to find it from the YouTube description as well. And if you want regular updates sort of from me, I also have a newsletter. But thanks for asking. That's that's good. I should probably tell people about that, because not everyone comes from sort of my Twitter or existing audience. So yeah, I definitely do have a blog. Most recent post actually went on Hacker News, which is fun. All right. Familiar transcoding, generate scaled M. This should no longer hesitate, and it should push through. Cool. It's gonna take longer because it's doing more. But it should be doing them in parallel probably. So something. And for subscribing to the blog, there's also an RSS feed. But the most consistent way to follow what I'm doing and getting more detailed updates is the newsletter, which is sent out weekly. I just sent one out this morning. But yeah, I do a fair bit of writing. I would say I do more of that videos, but actually I do weekly videos or weekly live streams. So I guess I'm sort of splitting my time there. So this video was 5 something. Yeah, I can wait for that. And then I think we're about done because I'm boiling. And even if I go out, I don't think it will be any cooler. It might be a little bit cooler just because I won't be having a computer running that's actively streaming and transcoding and recording video. That might actually cool things down a little bit. And then I will likely jump into the sea. So if I go TMP 1080, what do we have there? So project / familiar / TMP / 1080 gives me this one. Hi, which is a full Elixir developers, perhaps. And hi, my cool. So what's the size of that one? Yeah, 39, a lot less. Cool. So these successfully transcode video. Now I would want to do all of this as a sort of batch. Task generate with video for a particular media, boom. And what I want to do is I don't actually need the output, just generate thumbnail, generate transcode. And I don't actually want these to run in parallel, it just gets harder to debug and these two depend on one another. So this path. Yeah, so then I need to be able to pull this set of things for a particular one. Okay, so first application, let's create a task supervisor. Transcoding supervisor. And steal whatever we did with this here. This just means that if they crash, nothing else should. At least not if if the crash is sort of benign. Get video paths for media. That should mean grab that one. That one. And those two. I think we do it like this. I'm sort of improvising the formats here and I might change my mind later. I reserve the right to completely change my mind. So that's... Now we can at least get a map of what the video paths should be. This does not say that they necessarily exist. So maybe, just maybe, we also do... So these are the paths. And we want... so... Let's actually verify that they exist. That feels like a good thing to do. And we'll pretend that we'll return nil if it doesn't. So what am I trying to do here? Paths function. Don't care about the key, but I care about the value. So that's a file path. And I want to do boopa boopa. So if file stat if that's equal to that, then they exist. If it's not, they don't. Values of underscore represent a value to be ignored. Oh, right. So we should do a match question mark here. Okay. So now, because we have transcoded this. Okay, so I'm apparently not stopping the stream quite yet. I'm not really satisfied until I have something to look at. So let's see if we can introduce a video block. I'm just gonna steal code from myself here. Oh, actually that one has a video. So, not gonna bother with the picker quite yet, but I do want to that's the else. But we do want to also do if string starts. Okay, wait, what part am I on? Published. Should be doing this on the drafts for now. Can you do elifs in Elixir? I have never even considered it. Because I'm not sure what cond would look like in the templates. Might work fine. EX cond. So I don't think this would necessarily be very optimal from live view either, because live view does try to be smart about some of this stuff. For now, let's do it the stupid way, because both images and videos are very much special cases. So media main type video. Then we do let's actually and familiar.trans has converted video question mark. So we'll have to add that function, but it's a good way of so if it's not done converting, we would treat it like a normal file, which is an okay way of doing it for now. I think I wouldn't say it's good long term. Feed live. So we have these media path, thumb, now, video. What did I call it? Has conversions. Has converted video? Question mark. And that you just call transcoding dot get video paths, because that will return nil, and we can evaluate that. Oh. And if we do might do a width, I guess, but don't love that. Let's keep it simple. Don't typically do assignments in EX. Bind variable. I think you can just bind a variable, but honestly, I haven't tried it, I don't think. So, alright, it's already running, it's just back here. So if I do ex dot eval string and I do foo equals bar. Can I do like that? And then foo? That would, yeah. It's a little bit wild that I haven't sort of tried this before. Okay, then I think I'll, yeah, I could have try to make the has converted video more efficient, but I won't be doing it right now. Video paths. There's a lot of things that I'm not making particularly efficient right now because I'm trying to get a lot of things done in a short period of time. So let's do, it doesn't have to have the class fancy because we're not on my blog. Don't remember why it was fancy. I do have ideas about how to make it fancier. Actually, having those paths does not really give me what I want. You can see here with the thumbnails, we're actually going boogada boogada. Yeah. So what we want to do with these is probably change each of them. It's more inefficiencies, but bear with me if you can. Now I want the base name because we sometimes change the extension for example, the JPEGs and also from the original. So we need that. And what we actually want to return would then be slash media preset path. Finally, and then we have proper paths for the way this works. So now we should be able to do just this. So that should be the thumbnail. Did I only offer one single source for this? It's confusing. I think I should have several. Ah, but they're all type video MP4, right? So I use something else to switch between them. Yeah, we'll have to do something similar here. So let's start with the full one. Modified function has converted video. Ah, it does require a media path. Error. Starts with question mark. Yeah, it's not strings. That's not a module. And now what? The access calls for got thumbnail. Oh, right. But these shouldn't be keywords. Ah, I know why they're keywords. My bad. So I put them through in a map, and then I did not do map.new on them. Okay, that seems like it might be feeling better. Oh, and then I did not maintain the key. And boom. We actually have a thing. Hi. Showing video. Sweet. All right, I think we can call it there. So what we've done during this live stream is some of the work of adding thumbnails, which I cheated and started early with Mogrify and ImageMagick. And then we've added a bunch of FFmpeg commands that we can run with Mu on Trap. There's a bunch of other ways to run them. If you're on a Mac, you probably want to use something like Porcelain or Rambo. And then beyond that, we've actually added so we can play HTML video with the sort of native widgets. So I actually have video support now. But I don't actually have video support if you upload a new video. Because if you upload a new video, oh, this is actually interesting. Now I'm trying to generate thumbnails for any file. That's pointless. So if entry.client or rather media.mime type image slash do that. That's just a side effect. So, and similarly, you want to do that for video. With transcoding module, task, generate the video. So now if I go here, publish, add this, it uploads, it's done uploading. Big error. What's the big error about? Key mime type not found in active change set. Right. Because it's a change set, we need to go there. Let's try that again. No function clause matching in string starts with nil. Oh, yeah, it's in changes. Well, that part doesn't really matter. It doesn't have to be, it can be entry client type because that's the value we're actually putting in there. We haven't, oh, we could also do this. So, save the media. That's the correct way to do it. It's just me being a little bit blind. Uploading. Some explosion. Start task. No process. Transcoding supervisor. That's probably a naming thing again. So what did I call it? Transcoding supervisor. Familiar transcoding supervisor. And here. Did I just not restart it? When you add new things to the supervision tree, you really need to restart your dev server. There we go. I really need to remove the output though. Not thrilled about that at all. Okay. But assuming this goes through. So this is already processing and I can still just add my title, truth bar, or whatever. And have that there. Not sure why that's sorted about this one. Oh right, this has been published once, that's why. All right, I think that's a good time to call it. So thanks for watching. Stay cool out there. I really need to go wash up and probably jump in the sea. So check out underyo.io if you want to see more of what I do. And follow my newsletter and all that.